So the Supreme Court has done it. They've done it. They've overturned and struck down Roe v. Wade. This is a terrible day in America. I'll make a couple arguments here. I'm sure you've heard of all these first, but I'm sure you heard the news mostly. Look, I disagree with the Supreme Court. I think Roe v. Wade was one of the best rulings ever made by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has lately been making arguments saying, well, you shouldn't really know what's in the Constitution. You can't really see that. You should just agree with our interpretation of the Constitution. Even though that's not what the Constitution is. The Constitution is the Constitution. Whether you're for the Second Amendment, whether you're for the Fifth Amendment, whether you're for the 27th Amendment, whether you're for the 19th or 20th, or whatever it is. Or the 14th Amendment or 15th. It's something around there where it talks about privacy. So here's my exact take. I'm not for this ruling. I am pro-choice. I think a woman has the right to decide what to do with her body, and I'm disappointed in this ruling. I am. Someone said to me that I sound more conservative on this channel. No, I'm just against the Democratic Party. So here's the other ruling that I wish I could do rulings. Here's the other argument that I have. You can't blame anybody else but the Democrats. You can say, oh my God, but the Republicans, they put these people in court. Well, Obama didn't fight in 2016 for Merrick Garland, did he? No. The Democrats put up some bullcrap candidate like Hillary Clinton and expected everybody to vote for her, even though people were hurting because of her and Obama's policies. And oops, Trump gets elected and he elects Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett. All three Supreme Court justices. And of course, the hypocrisy of Mitch McConnell. Oh, we can't say elections. And Lindsey Graham. But you know who? Or they said, oh, steal elections. Ha, they did. They tried. He said, oh, we can't let the president pick the Supreme Court justice in the last year of his term, of his presidency. Little high for the presidency. But Joe Biden said the same thing in the 90s about President Bush. So they're all hypocrites, okay? So they put up this terrible candidate. They didn't fight in 2016 like they should have. They could have shut down the Senate. They could have, canceled all business. They could have done a lot of things to help this abortion argument. And they never did. And then they get Biden in 2020 elected, right? They get him in 2021 as president. And he said, I'm going to codify Roe v. Wade. Vote for me, folks. Don't worry. I'll get it settled. I'll fix this problem right now. I won't give the court the chance. And, in the Senate and in the House, they have this bill called the Women's Health Protection Act. And what it does is it codifies Roe v. Wade, essentially. It has other benefits, too. But the main centerpiece of the bill is that, hey, if you want an abortion, you can get an abortion. We're gonna codify the law that the Supreme Court made, the ruling, and we're going to make it law. Well, they never, ever passed it. And they failed to pass it this last time. Why? Well, Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema or Angus King, all of those guys didn't want to vote for this. They didn't want to codify Roe v. Wade because they're Republicans disguised as Democrats. Well, really, Democrats are Republicans disguised as Democrats because, yeah. And there's two Republican senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, who say they're pro-Roe v. Wade. They're pro-choice, and Chuck Schumer could have gotten them on their side and told, Manchin and Sinema and all the, hey, go ahead, vote with the Republicans. We got these two and Kamala Harris to vote it through. And it didn't happen. They didn't play that game. They didn't pass the Women's Health Protection Act. And they didn't do it in the House either, from what I'm told. And even if they did it in the House, they didn't do it in the Senate. There's one reason that they didn't do it. One reason. And it is because they want to run on it. It gets them money. They fundraise off of it, and they fearmonger. And then they say, oh my God, you got to vote for the Democrats because we're going to help you. We're going to help you get abortions, everybody, huh? And guess what? They win every time. Well, not every time, but a lot of the time they win because suckers go and they vote for them. These are do-nothing Democrats for a reason. They didn't give you a $15 minimum wage. They said they would. They said they'd pass the PRO Act. We don't have the PRO Act. They said they'd give you universal child care. That was a farce. They said that they would expand Medicare to 60. They didn't do that. Hillary said 50. They said that they would expand it to dental, vision, and hearing. They only did it for hearing. They said that they would, for Medicare. They said that they would give you, they took away the child tax credit. They said 2 years free community college. Bernie said 4 years of college free, and he's a cuck. So he said he bowed down to Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, his bosses. They didn't do anything for you. Oh, and by the way, they lied on those stimulus checks. He said $2,000. I swear to God, it's in my pocket. I'm ready to put it in the mail. And then he said, well, $1,400 instead because you already got $600. Suckers! They didn't do anything for you. And now people expect them to do anything on the abortion argument? Are you kidding yourselves? They didn't even pass the Women's Health Protection Act, like I said. They could have codified the law, the ruling, canceled out the Supreme Court's power here, and it would have been over. But no, they risked your right to have an abortion for fundraising money, for donor money, and to run on it, to get you to vote for the Democratic Party. Failures. Vote blue no matter who sends your kids to unnecessary wars. Vote blue no matter who gives money to Wall Street. And vote blue no matter who cancels your right to abortion because they didn't want to do anything about it. Oh, but they made a holiday called Juneteenth. That was easy. So my message is, don't vote for the Democratic Party. My message is, make these suckers pay. Take away 10 to 15% of the vote from both parties and see who goes left on the working class issues. One of them's got to do it or they both lose power. And ain't either one of them wanting to give it up. So you make one of them promise it and keep that promise or you vote them out. That's what's called voting third party and using leverage. It's not being called a-holes. It's not being a-holes. We'll be called a-holes for it. It's not hurting the Democratic Party and hurting the movement and da-da-da-da-da, yada, yada, like everyone else says. It's to get what you want done. But seriously, don't vote for the Democratic Party because you think they're going to do something about this. I just told you they had a way to do something about this and they never did it. So don't vote for the Democratic Party. And also, for all these people, oh my God, it's pro-choice. We have the right to do whatever we want with our bodies. We were told we had to put this thing on our arm. I can't say it. It goes right here. Goes right here. On your actual arm. On the top. Right? We had to put this thing in our arm. And wait, but I have a heart condition. I can't do that. Too bad. Get it. My religion doesn't let me. Too bad. Get it. I don't want to wear it. I don't want to have it. You can't go into restaurants because you don't have that thing on your arm. You know what I'm talking about. I have to speak in code on YouTube because they're censoring fucking fools. Oh, well, you can't get into bars. You can't get into restaurants. You can't go to school unless you have that thing on your arm and you can verify it. You can't go into a doctor's office. You can't go to concerts. If you don't get it, you're going to be fired from your job. We're going to take away your constitutional right to freedom. So a freedom of choice, where was that when we were saying, hey, we don't want to get the, you know what? Where was it? It wasn't there. They didn't care about pro-choice then. They didn't care about it. So now it's all about pro-choice. I agree with them. But they didn't say that when it came to the you-know-what, the thing on your arm. And then lastly, conservatives and Christian people. Christians are actually hypocrites because, God said this and we can't do that yet. And then they go to church and repent for their sins. And then on Monday morning, they do it all again. Sunday night, Monday morning. Listen, your whole pro-life argument is shit. Oh my God, we have to protect the fetus and the baby. We're pro-life. So we're not going to give you health care so you can survive a pandemic. We're not going to stop polluting the environment and stop polluting in your neighborhoods. And we're going to keep sending you. We need you to go to our wars and you can die so we can get money in the arms industry. Yeah. How is that pro-life? Oh, that's different. That's not the same thing. It's the same thing, and they don't like when you point it out. It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. And they ain't like to admit it. So every party's got some kind of bullcrap hypocrisy here. And I'm tired of it. And you know what it's gotten us? This. The overruling of the ruling in 1973 of Roe v. Wade. Congratulations, Democrats.